Hello, everyone. Spirit House here. I just wanted to talk a little bit today about the state of the world and our mission to, well, our duty to try to bring things back into balance through God, through Mother, Father, Source. Um, we are in pretty much in the last days, the days mentioned in the book of Enoch and Revelations. Um, and the biggest problem, if you look at things from this perspective of universal law, rhythmic, balanced interchange of everything, and not from a perspective of good and evil, because it doesn't really exist. There's only balance and the love principle. That's all there is the love principle and balance and the universal law, which is basically another word for it is karma. If you do something to an excess or obsessively, it's going to come back to you in the same manner, exactly the same manner, or possibly worse, depending on how far you went, how far out of balance you became, which is also you become mentally imbalanced as well. Eventually, if you're obsessively doing something repeatedly that is dark or light, it's the same thing. No matter what they say, no matter what fake front or mask facade they put on, no one is all good and no one is all evil. I mean, there's no such thing. There's no such thing. And if they try to be, it's going to be brought back into balance. Okay. And this plays out over possibly eons. We have to go through many lives in hell or purgatory, all of us, as well as spiritually, like Christians or worshiping God, the source. We have to go through those lives and karmic cycles, lifetime after lifetime, at least a certain amount, in order to go through that, so that we can become divine, find our divinity again, rediscover who we are, and then find our self love, and come back into bring love back into balance, and help others, do the same thing. You've got to, it's like an initiation sort of thing through incarnations, and we come back as different genders. We come back as we switch up the roles in our soul families. I mean, we do. Some may not believe this. I have a knowing. I know this is truth. It's not a belief. It's a knowing I have. But at any rate, the problem with society and the world globally today is there's gross imbalances that can't go on. Can't go on. We've got to wipe this. The reset button's about to get hit. We got to wipe the slate clean, or change the consciousness, raise the consciousness of society through forced awakenings, through the energies of the universe, the outer energies that are external to Earth, energies from the sun. There's all these things at play right now that are, and other star seeds and chosen earth angels that are working to, even if you're not conscious of it, raise the vibration of humanity, basically, because there's been an imbalance. And like I said in a previous video, everything is fractal. Like, what's happening as above, so below. It's happening. If it's happening on a microcosmic scale, it's happening on a macro cosmic scale. And, so it reflects that, it mirrors that. And, there's imbalances in the earth from taking too much from the earth and raping the earth, from mining, oil exploration, excuse me, fracking. We're leaving, just there's an imbalance. We've taken so much from the earth that the actual axis of the earth is imbalanced. Okay. And you look at that's not balance. We haven't given back to the earth We've given no love to the earth, although it's a living organism with a consciousness. It's a host for us to live on. We cannot live without that. Okay? We've created weapons of mass destruction that have thrown off the imbalance. There's isotopes that we can never dispose of. The half-life is insanely long. I mean, it takes such they should have never been created. You know, things like the Hadron Collider, which should have never come into balance. HARP, you know, these things. It's all ego. Humans with ego trying to play God. Trying to play God. Seeding the clouds, as they call it, geoengineering, aerosol spraying, all this horrific things that we are doing. I'm not saying we as me and you, people that are in, might be environmentalists, but people of power are doing that think they are God, on many different levels. I'm not going to go into all of it. But then we have an imbalance with gender, huge gender imbalance. Look at what's happening politically right now. I mean, women are being disenfranchised, thrown to the side, as if they're not even as if they're second-class citizens again. We are regressing. We're stuck on stupid and regressing, going backwards. We're not evolving. Imbalance, with race, inequities, socioeconomic inequities, the pandemic. I've spoken on a few different goals of the pandemic from the powers that be, but another one was it was a good way to wipe out the middle class or lessen the middle class, to help get rid of it. The independent small business owner, it was a good way to force all of those people out of business so that there's just the dirt poor and the large corporations, the multi-billion-dollar corporations that don't even have to pay taxes, like GE, okay? That's another goal, one of many. That was a multifaceted plan to test out biological warfare on civilian populations, which is written in a law, actually. I can show you where it's written. You have to read through 6,000 pages to find it, but yes, I found it. If you're in a state of emergency, a pandemic, they can test out biological weapons and microwave weapons, whatever, on the civilian population. It is legal. You lose all your rights. It was to further isolate us from each other so that we don't organize, to see how long they could get away with isolating us, how we would react. I mean, all kinds of, it was a huge test, okay? It was a trial run, okay? Let me just say that. I have lots of evidence to back that up too, that goes back to October of 2019 and some leaked Rockefeller documents. And these are real things. The Gates Foundation, the Wuhan wet market, quote unquote, that they blame for it, when across the street from that wet market is a P4 biological weapons lab. And one of the people who have worked there for 30 years, their sole job pretty much was to study coronavirus in bats and find a way to transmit it to humans and create something out. Who knows what else? But that's a little suspicious. That's like literally across the street in Wuhan from the wet market, quote unquote. And there's all kinds of damning evidence, okay? I research things well when I'm suspicious about something, and I always find the truth. Always find the truth. And I'm not meaning to sound conceited, but when I feel, my intuition tells me that something is wrong, I get to the bottom of it. Things are revealed to me without a lot of effort. But I am also good at researching, because I don't just blindly believe anything anyone tells me. I do my own due diligence on that. But at any rate, going back to the imbalances, it's on pretty much every level of society. People of power have gone out of control, and prey on the weak, prey on the poor, prey on people that don't are disadvantaged. And so, this has become a huge problem. It's time to wipe the slate clean or get our shit together, so to speak. Okay? And basically, what I was saying about having to go through periods of lifetimes of darkness, at least, at least a few, enough to where you can awaken. That's what pushes you into your awakening, okay? So nobody should be sitting here condemning anybody or acting like even if they're, even like me, even though I've been awakened and I have a really strong faith in spirit and God and my ancestors and my angels and all of my galactic family. I have a really strong connection with them now, but it took me a long time to get here. So people that think, oh, some people that are going through their awakening don't realize it, especially with twin flames. They, like, usually the female is awakened before the male. So, and then, the male's going through karmic cycles, and the people around them, the karmics, make them think that they're unworthy because of the things that they've done, the things that they helped create, the problems in their life, obstacles, sicknesses, things that they did in the dark to create or trick people into doing. The devil is very, very, very clever, okay? But he works through low vibrational people who are in the dark night of the soul or in their lower vibration. They're very easy targets to become agents and to do his bidding. So basically, people, men, especially men that are going through this, they think, well, I'm not worthy. I'm just, that's a trick. That's a trick. That's mental projection on you to think that, to not try, to give up because you think that, oh, well, I'm so ashamed of what I've done, this and that I'll never be worthy of this or that, and I'm not going to try. I'll never be, so that you don't pursue your dreams. You give up on your dreams because that's exactly what they want. They want to keep you down. They want to keep you low vibrational like them, and they see your light. They see your divinity, and they've seen it all along. A lot of people have seen it before I even saw it in myself. They knew from the time I was born. They cursed me and have done all kinds of horrible, horrible things. And people that I don't even know, people that I didn't know, some of them I didn't even find out about until 2 years ago. I mean, people across the world, people all over the world, actually, in different groups, covens, this and that, that somehow got a hold of my birth chart or, found out some way. I haven't quite figured all of that out yet, but I know some of them saw me in their family's birth chart or this or that. Some of my soul family that I'm not near, thank goodness, in this lifetime, right now. That was the Lord's protection for me in this lifetime. But don't fall. I'm talking to all people that might be, labeled as karmics, even my enemies. Don't fall for that crap because you're a victim of it too. Even though you might be carrying out deeds that are like really dark, don't fall for that crap, because getting stuck in the past and what could have been and all that stuff, that's all tricks of the devil. That's all tricks and of deceit to make you think that you can never get anywhere, to make you think you can't get where I am. Well, I went through the same thing. I wasn't always, you have to go through that. You have to go through that in order to have an awakening, or in order to, find yourself again. You have to hit rock bottom pretty much before you can awaken. So don't be so hard on yourselves. Just try, it's never too late. People will say, oh, here's a timeline. Well, there might be cycles to where people that are awakened to where you can no longer harm them, which I know some people are heartbroken about. But it's not, I think a lot of this is because you think it's too late because of what you've done for you to change, because there's just nothing you could do. That's not true. That's a trick of the devil to get you to think that you can never redeem yourself or you can never have deliverance. That's not true. It's a lie. It's a deceit. And you're falling for your own tricks. You're falling for your own, you think you're getting over on somebody, but really you're a victim of that too. Or you're allowing that to happen to you. So I just wanted to say, people, don't beat yourself up so much. It's never too late to change your path. It's never too late to change your path. I believe that. Maybe it is for some people. I don't know. Only spirit. No. But I don't believe that. I mean, I believe that anyone can come from any dark place and find the light. So I hope this is helpful or maybe an inspiration to some people, because I love everyone, even my enemies. I feel bad for. I kind of feel bad in a way, because I know I've been there before. I've been there. I had to go through it to get to where I am now. So anyway, I love you guys. I love all my viewers, and I hope you have a good day.